first stop in Iowa City at the Hamburg Inn. It's a diner and we just ordered, so we'll let you know what we get. Okay, our food just got here. I got a tofu salad, which I'm kind of surprised that they had this, but we'll go with it, and a side of hash browns. And then we had to order some pancakes because we're at a diner. And my dad got onion rings and a French onion burger with an egg because we are in Iowa. We've made it to Omaha. I'm at the gym. I'm the only person in here, obviously. It's definitely a little spooky. We're staying at the Marriott in Omaha, so it's a perfectly fine hotel. It's just like low-key the middle of nowhere. The drive here was really not so bad. I think it was like 7 hours. It's just so boring. And I would say like all of the like outer skirts of Illinois and Iowa and Nebraska look exactly how I would expect them to. So it's fun to see. I don't foresee any world where I ever come back here, but it has been very cool to see because I've never been to this part of the US. Anyways, it's about 7 o'clock now, so it's pretty late, but I just feel so restless. So I am planning to do some steps here on the treadmill just to get a little movement in. And then we're going to get like a quick bite for dinner, go to bed, and get up and make our way to Denver tomorrow. a second since I've updated the vlog, just because the last couple of days of travel, it's been hard for me to talk to the camera because A, I've been with my dad, so like we're just kind of like talking and whatnot the whole time. But B, being in transit like that is challenging. We'll do a whole debrief at a later point in this vlog of how the road trip went. But overall, like, it was a really fun experience. Do I feel like I need to do it again? Definitely not. Like, definitely not. But I'm happy that we did it. We got into LA last night at like 5:30. Came in here really quick just to like get the keys and do all of that. And then we went to Erewhon for dinner. My dad's first time at Erewhon. He actually really liked it, which makes me happy. And now today, it's like 7:30. The movers are coming at 9. So obviously, we're going to Cafe Lux first because we must. I am just so excited to get back into a little bit of a semblance of a routine. I'm giving myself today, obviously, because the movers are coming today. So I'm expecting it's going to be a little bit chaotic. And then tomorrow to kind of get organized. Friday, I have to work. I'm feeling like a little bit behind and a little bit discombobulated. I know that's just part of the process, but I really need to like sit down with my computer. The issue is I don't have Wi-Fi quite yet. So that's going to be my project for tomorrow. I will say, when you move, I think it's just important to accept that you're going to have probably a week of feeling a little bit out of sorts. My last week, it's now been 8 days since I moved out of my apartment. 3 of those days were in Chicago still, and then the other 4 days have been in transit, and now today is our first full day in LA. My dad's leaving tomorrow, so short trip for him here. But I just feel like when you move, everything is just going to be discombobulated and you have to accept it. I knew that to be true going into this, but I forget how I feel on like day 7, day 8. I'm like, oh my God, I can't live like this anymore. So luckily, now that I'm in my space, I can take a little bit of time to put things where they belong. And I'm so happy that I don't have to wait multiple days for my stuff. It just like so happened to work out, honestly, perfectly that way. And even better that my dad is here because he can help me hang stuff. And yeah, so that's on the agenda today. The road trip was gorgeous, which I think I already said. Clearly you can see I'm a little bit like, what is going on? Tonight, and I'll do my best to capture some clips. I've had a little bit, like I said, of a hard time vlogging, but I've been capturing, so I'll make sure it's all in here. Tonight, we're going to my favorite restaurant. Well, we'll say my favorite restaurant in LA, but like my favorite restaurant of all time, which is Taverna Tony's up in Malibu. Obviously, my dad has never been there, and I was like, okay, if we have one night where we have time to like properly go out to dinner, I'm taking you there. Obviously, like we're celebrating my move here. He's been such a godsend and so helpful for me over this whole entire experience. And today, like, I have the best dad ever, which I'm very lucky. And we're going to celebrate and it's going to be lovely. And then tomorrow morning, his flight's at 11. So I'm going to take him to the airport. He's so like, he offered to Uber and I'm like, you literally drove me across the entire country. Like, please let me drive you to the airport. I'm going to take him to the airport at like 8:30. And then I need to get my car cleaned. That's the other thing about the road trip. My car, inside and outside, is just an absolute disaster. And it's because when you're driving, like, I didn't know this, there's so many bugs. So like my whole car is covered in like little bugs. And we had to stop and wipe the windshield multiple times because there were so many bugs on there. I don't know if it's just like the middle part of the country or highway driving. That's never happened to me, but it's crazy. So yeah, that needs to happen tomorrow. I'm going to get it all cleaned up on the inside, and then I'm going to spend my whole day organizing, which I will also document and vlog so that this can be like a full comprehensive video. Anyways, I'm so excited for today. we're going to Cafe Lux right now. We're in about 5 minutes. And this is the beginning of hopefully a very fun and lovely and happy chapter in lovely Los Angeles. Been a sec. Yesterday was the moving day. All of my stuff is now in my apartment. It's just everywhere. So today is my organization day. I dropped my dad off at the airport this morning, went over to grab a car wash because my car was a disaster after our road trip on the inside and the outside. And I just I've said this, I think 100 times. I cannot remember what I've even talked about in this vlog. I can't function in chaos. So my chaos is being mitigated end of day today. I also stopped at Whole Foods just to pick up miscellaneous, whatever kind of grocery stuff to hold me over the next few days. I'm gonna be going to the farmer's market this weekend, so I'm very excited, but I didn't wanna overbuy. So we'll do a quick haul and then I'll show you what I'm gonna be getting into for the rest of this afternoon. So, oat milk. This is for my coffees that I have to set up my espresso machine. A little bit of rice. We're gonna be sticking to defaults for the next little bit just because I do not have the brain capacity for cooking dinner. Although tonight, I'm actually gonna be going to get dinner with my friend Erin Confortini. She's in LA this weekend, and so we're meeting up for dinner. So tomorrow is gonna end up being more of a cooking day. I got 2 zucchinis, a couple of avocados. We have bananas for my oatmeal, which I'm gonna make some oatmeal in just a second, and then an onion. And then in this bag here, I got just a little bit of teriyaki sauce. Normally this is stuff that I would, try to make myself, but I don't have my full pantry all set up just quite yet. I got 2 sweet potatoes, so I'm gonna roast these up. Honestly, I'm probably gonna roast these up today just so that I have them ready to go. 2 packages of extra firm tofu pressed. This is my favorite tofu. They sell a version of this too at Trader Joe's, but if you don't like the texture of tofu, you might like this better because it just has it's not as mushy. I got some flour because I'm gonna be making some bread very soon. And then I also got a bag of the little champagne mangoes. They're in season right now. These are the best. So that's the haul. And then today on the agenda is whatever is happening right here. Oh my God, this stresses me out. Yesterday when the movers were here, really our goal was to just get everything out of the boxes. And it was gonna be oh, I'll deal with this tomorrow. So it's tomorrow. I have everything just kind of thrown in here. This is not how it's going to remain, but this is the vibe at the moment. I don't even have a place for my silverware. It's just a little bit of a mess. I do have my espresso machine on the counter here. It's not going to stay here because I have limited counter space. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna get a little credenza for this corner right here and turn it into my coffee bar. So that is also on the agenda for today. And then here is my table with all my groceries, but also all of this stuff that needs to get put away. And then now we are in my bedroom and I have all of my clothes that need to fit into this closet, which is not that big, but I still think everything's gonna fit. And I need to figure out, I need to put everything away so I can figure out what I need. What I'm trying really hard to do is not buy anything before I actually like take survey of inventory. I really don't think I need too much stuff. If anything, I'm going to get rid of some glassware just because I have, I think, a little bit too much of it. But I know from like an organization standpoint, there are things that I'll need, and I just don't want to end up buying baskets or bins or whatever that end up not getting used. Just went to HomeGoods to pick up some stuff. So we will do a little bit of a haul here. Starting off, we got a handful of drawer organizers. So I only have 2 drawers, which means I need to be really strategic about what goes in here. The other thing that I got related to the drawer organizers is this organizer for utensils. So unfortunately, the one that I have is too big for this drawer. So that sucks for me, but I got a new one and it's a little bit smaller. I measured the drawers before I went, so I'm gonna transfer everything over. And I'm gonna put together a little pile of things. I'm gonna ask any of my friends if they want any of it before I'm gonna list it probably on Facebook Marketplace for like $1, just for the sake of getting rid of everything. I got a couple of ice cube trays. I keep getting refrigerators in apartments that don't have ice machines. I should have checked, but it's better that I didn't because I don't think it would have changed my opinion on this apartment, but like it's so annoying. But we will live. I got 4 ice cube trays, so I don't have to fill them up that often. And then I got, this actually came with 2. I am only gonna need 1 little bins for the ice. I got a bunch of towels. These little hand towels are for my bathroom, and then I got some microfibers for the kitchen. I feel like I'm in a position where my dishcloths need to be replaced, so it's always easy to get new ones at HomeGoods. I got a little sponge holder and a soap dispenser. This is actually for my shower because my body wash all spilt and I want to put it in a different dispenser. And then I'll reuse this for soap probably at a future point. I do need to get like dish soap for my sink. So that's another thing. Today was HomeGoods. Tomorrow we'll go to Target. And last but not least, I got some stainless steel measuring cups because I'm slowly starting to replace my utensils with stainless steel where I can. And you know, at HomeGoods, everything is pretty cheap. These are only $12. So that's the haul. We're gonna get to organizing, and then I have probably 2 hours to dedicate towards my bedroom. And the bathroom and other spaces are gonna have to be a project for a different day. We've made it to the clothes portion of this move-in vlog. I'm a little bit stressed about this as well because my closet is much smaller here than it was in my last apartment. But I do think getting everything in here is actually going to be fine. It just is going to be a disaster until it's not. So I'm gonna start, I think, with the hanging stuff. And then we're gonna get into hopefully sweaters up there, sweat sets. I may hang my sweat sets. And then I'm gonna need to figure out what I'm gonna do about like underwear and socks and that sort of thing. I may need to go back to HomeGoods and get some baskets. We'll see how this all goes. Okay, the closet is done. Clearly, she is stuffed to the brim. It's so insane to me how different this looks compared to obviously like my big walk-in closet because, you know, and this is so obvious, size plays a big role in it. But just like my other closet felt empty, we're now here, and this isn't even any of my workout clothes. I'm gonna have to get a dresser, I think. This here is just like, there's nothing else that can go in there. Honestly, this is a good thing because it gives me good perspective on like, okay, I really, not only do I not need any clothes, but I don't have any room for any more clothes. I almost fear if I were to get a dresser, it would like open the floodgates for me to get more clothes, which I don't really want. I do think though, I'm going to need to get one. I need to get new nightstands too, but that's low priority. Like that one is broken. It's supposed to have a drawer like that. I wish I could switch these, and I probably will at some point, but I just like, I kid you not, I do not have the energy to do it. So that's the scoop. This is my new mirror angle unlock. And then if we come out here, I had some overflow in this closet. So I have my workout clothes are right there. And then this is all just like bath stuff. This is going to be my project for this weekend. My friend Ellen is going to come over. This is all like excess skincare. So I have a bunch of stuff that I'm going to give her, and we're going to sit here and just like go through it all because this can't be how this closet stays. I might get another like little pole or something there. I don't know. We'll see. I almost feel like I need to live in this for a little bit longer just to see like what I'm reaching for. But I do feel like ultimately I'm going to end up getting a dresser as my TV stand. I'm going to mount my TV and I'm going to use the dresser for like my workout clothes and overflow and all of that. So that is the progress of the day. My kitchen is in really good shape. I have some stuff to put away. I also got a new sourdough starter, so that is in process. I can't remember if I mentioned it, but my espresso machine is not going to stay there. It's going to go on a credenza over there. And yeah, now it's time for me to start getting ready for dinner. Okay, I'm off to dinner. We are keeping things very, very simple. I did not take a shower before this because honestly, when I get back, I just want to take a full everything body shower, self-tan, do the whole thing. And I'm not going to do that, obviously, before I go out to a restaurant. So I'm just wearing these Park wide leg jeans. If you ever get these jeans, make sure you size down. I have on my Aritzia Babaton t-shirt. And then on top, this is just an old leather bomber from Zara. I got this a couple years ago, and then I'm wearing my little BB Lou net jelly shoes. I really like these. I know some people probably don't, but I feel like they're just the perfect throw-on shoe. For my bag, I have my little Longchamp, and I slicked my hair back. Did I say that already? I'm losing my mind. Anyways, I'm going to end the vlog off here because I feel like this week has been just so chaotic and I need to give myself a little bit of a break. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for being here. We will kick things off or resume next week, I guess, with a work day in my life vlog, the first one being in LA. I got to get into my whole new routine. I really appreciate all of your nice messages. I do have a podcast coming where I'm going to like answer all the questions again in detail because I know there are still so many of them. But yeah, that is this vlog. I will talk to you in the next one.